We're lost. This incline is no joke, especially after already walking over 12 k's. David?
I'm supposed to do this much uphill on the way back.
We're David and Sarah.
At the end of 2021, we packed up our lavish Aussie lives into 4 suitcases to do a 2-year working holiday in Canada.
The awesome sights and experiences you're about to witness are the result of 2 people prioritising fun, adventure, and each other over financial security, career goals, and social ideals.
If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures.
Good morning from our beautiful car park backyard.
It is so windy today, but we are going to do a little 6-kilometer hike while answering your questions. We just wanted to show you this. Look at that. We wake up to that every single morning.
We should wake up to that every single morning. We could wake up to that every single morning.
Sometimes I do wake up and I'll open the blinds a little bit and I'll see. Question is, what is it like to live 24/7 with each other?
I think it's great. Like a lot of people are like, oh, don't you need like your space, and what do you do for your boy time and this and that? And I'm just like, if I wanted boy time, I wouldn't have got married. Even when it comes to living in the van, yeah, we're with each other like 24 hours a day, but we still try and like maximize our time together. Like we'll both work together while we're working so that we can chill together while we're chilling. It's normal.
It's normal. It's just like, this is my best friend and we do life together.
$4 billion corrugations later, we've just pulled over. Sarah's taking some footage of the fog in the valley, and now there's a rough road sign up ahead, which we haven't seen yet, and we've been getting shaken to pieces. So this could be interesting.
We just had to stop at this beautiful spot to answer the next question. So the next question is, what are our top 3 bucket list destinations?
I would say Peru, Tanzania, and Mauritius.
Nice. Mine are the States, but specifically Hawaii, Switzerland, and Vietnam. I've wanted to go to Vietnam for the longest time,
So if you want to see us go to those places, buy us a copy.
Who goes hiking with a coffee?
You gotta do what you gotta do. Not gonna waste it.
Gee, we've even got corrugations on the footpath. There's just something about the morning. It's just so special. The sun just hits differently. It just like shimmers through the trees wherever it wants, in some areas but not others. It's so cool.
It's just so beautiful. When I was walking just before, I was like, this is why I woke up this morning. It was such a struggle.
It's always a struggle, but it's always so worthwhile. The next question is, how much does it cost to do a working holiday? And that's a really hard question to answer. It's kind of like, how long is a piece of string? Our goal when we were coming here was to try and pay for all of our Canadian expenses with our Canadian income.
Yeah.
And that is really doable.
Yeah, it is, for sure. But we do have a video on how we survive on minimum wage, and we cover the costs of everything in there. So make sure you click the link up there. If you plan on coming for a couple of years, I would say come with about 10,000 Canadian dollars. That gives you a lot of flexibility, and even with finding a car and starting up, $10,000 we would say.
Whoa, that was so cool.
We just saw a white-tailed deer. It's so beautiful and graceful. It's just like
It's crazy how
hopping in the trees.
effortlessly it's just, that's like steep uphill and it's just like,
Don't you just love nature?
I know.
We've been talking about it the whole way. We just does something to us.
Crikey, I think it's a bear print. About 3 days old. So the next question is, how do we arrange healthcare?
We don't really have any healthcare. We do have insurance, and we can go to the dentist and stuff, but it's a bit of an excess fee, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like $250 excess, I think.
Yeah, so
Or deductible, as you guys call it.
yeah. So one time David needed to go to the doctor and he had to pay $120 to go and see the doctor. But yeah, we just try and not get hurt.
We do have travel insurance if worst comes to worst, as Sarah said, but for anything minor, we pay a big consultation fee.
Like I chipped my tooth. I don't know if you guys can see. TMI. I chipped my tooth and I'm like, yeah, no, I will not be going to the dentist here because I can get it for a lot cheaper in Australia. So I'm just gonna wait it out. It's not anything major, so it's fine. First taste of fall. The next question is, will you explore Canada's east coast? We're probably going to run out of time, but we definitely would want to come back, and there's so much we want to see.
Time and money.
We would definitely love to one day, and we will make an effort to come back to Canada for sure.
If we don't do it this round, we'll do it next round. How long is this hike again?
About 6Ks.
What? We're only 2.6 Ks in.
We've done like 18.
Time to get serious.
Let's see.
Okay.
Didn't last very long.
The next question. Do we have any other provinces that we'd like to see? Short answer, all of them, but we're probably not going to get there because of budget once again.
Yeah, we would love to visit every single province in Canada. I know there's a lot. There's a lot. We'd love to go to the Arctic.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Probably not going to happen this time, but it will happen in the future.
One day.
It will happen in the future for sure.
Stay tuned in about 2 years for a cruise from Alaska to Vancouver.
You heard it here first.
Okay, so the next question is, where the heck are we? Because these trails are so poorly marked. I think we're now on about a 14k round trip route instead of the intended 6. So,
Which happened last time. We were meant to do 14 kilometers and we did 18.
we've done 5.8 and I do not feel like we are anywhere near the car.
So we know that Canada has a very rich Indigenous culture, and someone asked, are we going to be exploring that? And we did go to a museum the other day.
Yeah, we've explored a little bit of the history and culture so far in Golden Museum. It's kind of Golden specific, but we do plan on doing another cultural sort of centre somewhere around Kananaskis here.
Yeah, some Canadian history. Woohoo! It's actually really, really interesting. I love learning about cultures and the history of it, so love it. If you guys have any suggestions on really cool museums about culture and the Indigenous culture here in Canada, please let us know in the comments below. Wow, check out that beautiful view. Mountains in the background. Overall, we think we're going to do like a 14k hike.
Yeah, we figured out what happened. I think somehow we ended up coming the opposite way around the loop to what we thought. And so we turned right instead of left.
So the next question is, how much longer do we have in Canada, and when are we getting back to work?
So my visa expires on November next year and Sarah's visa expires in October next year. But we will probably be leaving after the next winter season in April sometime, and we will be back to work in October.
Yeah, beginning of October. Fun fact, we would have loved to have permanent residency here, and we did try and go through some of the process, but we're just running out of time, and Canada can make things a little bit difficult, so.
I don't know, it is called Eagle Hill.
Getting there. Nice green rolly hills on this side and some rocky mountains on that side.
Okay, I'm dizzy.
We made it!
We're on top of the world! Not really, but this is a worthwhile view. I'm glad we took a wrong turn.
Yeah, this is Eagle Hill viewpoint.
7.31 k's in so far.
Oh, the entire hike, nobody was on the trail at all. We were by ourselves. We're here by ourselves. So far, the couple of hikes that we've done in Kananaskis, we've been by ourselves.
We just hiked like 8 k's into the wilderness and I can still hear the jolly train. Like, share, subscribe.
What is it like to travel with an RV and no car? I think it can be a pain sometimes, and then other times I'm like, oh, thank goodness we have our car and our home together, because sometimes I forget things and I'm like, oh, our home is with us. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know.
In Canada, it's really set up for RVs, so I feel like the biggest setback to not having a car is just fuel consumption.
There are definitely pros and cons to having a vehicle. It's sometimes just easier to drive around the towns and to get parking around some towns. But otherwise, oh, and maybe getting a little bit off-road.
Yeah, and also you can't like save your site. If you're in a free campsite, you can't park your RV and then take your car into town. As soon as you leave your site, someone else can easily park there and then you don't have a site to come back to.
Yes. Is it hard to drive the RV around, being that it's so big?
Not really. Everything's big enough around here.
Yeah.
Ours isn't the biggest RV, but it is quite long.
Yeah.
And doesn't have a good turning circle, but it's still quite easy to get around and park and everything.
Yeah, it's quite doable.
Yeah.
How often do we stay on free land, crown land? Pretty often. Probably like 80% of the time, probably more.
Yeah.
We have stayed on free land. So that's a good thing about having an RV with a toilet.
Yeah.
Is that when you're in the bush, at least you've got a toilet. How do you feel when leaving your RV for several hours, like we are doing right now, I guess?
Yeah, I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
We normally just make sure whatever's left in there that's valuable is just out of sight.
We lock it up. I think in the beginning when we first got an RV, I was very nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, this is our home. Like, you know, someone can break in, all our stuff will like be stolen. But now it's like, no, whatever. Are you planning on driving to warmer states in the winter?
No. We're planning on having a regular job in winter at a ski resort and probably getting rid of Monty.
Yeah, sorry guys, we know that, like you know, hopped on board for the RV journey.
But it was only
But,
supposed to, be a cheap place to live
For summer.
while we had no jobs in the summer.
Are you planning on just exploring Canada, or will you be visiting the States?
We hope to visit the States before we leave North America, even if it's just for a week or two, but we'll just have to see how the budget goes and if we can get time off work during the winter.
Yeah. What do you do for Wi-Fi? Oh my goodness. What do we do for Wi-Fi? Guys, it has been such a struggle in the RV with no Wi-Fi and like having to find Wi-Fi. Oh.
Especially because the cell reception is so patchy as well. It's like most of the time you can't get good cell reception and you can't get good Wi-Fi, and it's just a connection nightmare for a digital nomad.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Maybe if, you know, you're not doing YouTube or social media or whatever, it wouldn't be a problem. Like you can kind of just roll around, go with the flow. But for us, with uploading on YouTube regularly, it's just so difficult.
And when you're trying to upload a video in high definition, Wi-Fi ain't Wi-Fi. It's just, you need a good connection or otherwise it's not going to work.
So we're about 10 k's into the hike and we've got about 5 more to go.
Nice 6k hike.
We were not prepared to do a 15k hike today. What do you think about this hike anyway? It's like pretty tough, isn't it?
Sure is. Especially when you're not mentally prepared for it.
Yeah. And we got 2 more questions to answer, so we'll answer those at the end of the hike. We're at just over 12 kilometers.
What I wouldn't do for a dirt bike right now.
I'm not sure if you guys can see, but like it goes all the way down. Like, how many k's has it been? Great, it's been 600 meters and we're like struggling. This incline is no joke, especially after already walking over 12 k's. David?
I'm supposed to do this much uphill on the way back.
I'm glad we took a wrong turn.
This is a tough hike. It's literally been uphill.
Both ways.
By the way, we could have went back the same way we came and it would have been a lot smoother, but someone was like, ooh, it's only 700 meters more. Let's just do the Deer Ridge. And now we are, it's like uphill, like 3.5 k's of uphill. We're lost because the trail maps are really hard to read. They're not good at all. We've done quite a few hikes and it seems to be a bit of a problem here. Yeah, they're just like not good and they don't really make sense, and I don't know if they're really old or what and they need to be updated, but they're not good. We've come to how many forks in the road?
Like 5.
And no signs.
No signs. No, you are here on the map. No, this is the direction you've just traveled on the map. You just got no idea where you are, ever.
So we've come out of the middle of nowhere. We're gonna try and go and find our car. We're not sure if it's down here or down there.
It's down there.
Okay. How many kilometers have we done?
17 again. This, I feel like actually ripping it off. It is dangerous. When you're 15 k's into a hike and you take a wrong turn and it costs you another 10 k's and you don't have food or water because the maps aren't clear and then places aren't signed.
So basically on Google Maps, this is Sebald Lake, but apparently this is Sebald Lake now. So I don't know when it got changed, but it's not
and
correct.
There's just, all of this stuff doesn't even exist. Like,
yeah.
It's just very, it's dangerous.
It is dangerous.
What does it say? Interpretive exhibit. Yeah, this is definitely an interpretive exhibit.
Like, we had enough water and stuff for a 6k hike and it turned into a 17 kilometer hike. So that's
all we had
pretty
was
dangerous.
4 bottles of water, so 2 litres of water and 2 handfuls of cashews. And it turned into a 6-hour hike. So, not good, Canada. Not happy. I actually didn't know if we were ever going to find this thing.
We got asked, what do we like and dislike about RV life?
We're going to do a whole video in more detail on this, but we'll give one like and one dislike each. So for me, I like that our house is with us everywhere we go and there's never any chance of forgetting anything. And I dislike how thirsty it is. Beware the maps.
I dislike that when we wash dishes or have showers or anything that we're using water with, it's like we have to save it. And what I like about it is that it gets us to places where if there was a hotel in that place, it would probably cost like thousands of dollars to stay the night at that hotel, but we get to see these beautiful places for free.
But more details coming up in another video.
Yeah, because I have a long list of dislikes. I'm just kidding. What is the difference between Australian versus Canadian camping?
I would say one major difference for me is scenery.
That's all the questions. If you guys have any other further questions, comment them below and we'll answer them and chat with you guys in the comments section.
Before you go, I actually have a question for you. Have you subscribed and liked the video? Comment below. And subscribe and like the video.
Thank you so much for all the support so far.
If you want to buy us a chiropractor session, you can click the link in the description below.